Okay, I hope you enjoy this class. Let's move to where the Sanghyangsu located. I call these names Life's Winkle, Sanghyangsu. The Sanghyangsu lives behind the Cheonjam in Songgwangsa Temple. Cheonjam is the one of the branches. Mm. So, named after the Jupiter trees grow side by side. It is not difficult to take root in the branch has been cut off. You can see the root came out of the cut branches. In order to live, the body was changed. So the part buried in the soil became the root, and nutrition of the whole body was sent to it to create the root. I came to life by creating my own roots. For many years, the Jupiter seems very painful. It seems there are more places have been healed than those that are holy. One large branch is broken. A small branch of dryness is also visible. The first, it looked magnificent, very magnificent, but now it looks sad, as old architecture says. Is this the reason why I suddenly wished for the story of the wrinkle of the life told by the 800 years old Jupiters? Spiral shapes grow as the main stem is twisted, and twisted have very strong tractional force. The reverse curves of Farrell's materials have transformed the body to become root maximums, the mystery of nature, by expressing the shape of a reverse rotation in all directions. Issei Miyake, a famous fashion designer in Japan, um, his fashion work comes to mind, expressing the relationship between the past and the future, east and the west, the body and the clothing, which are opposite concepts. His innovation emphasized the perceptions of tradition, not from a vacuum, and combines it with new technologies. His pleats techniques is a modern lifestyle design and combines a visual wonder and practically with Issei Miyake's techniques for producing a simple design. So his pleats techniques reverse the fabrication process by wrinkle, the twisting, shrinking the finished shapes. The resulting garment is pressed into a press in two sheets of paper, showing a permanent wrinkle. This simple reversal of method has produced a whole new garment, organically intertwined with the materials, forms, and functions. You see, Miyake, he explains how new technology has become a means of preserving tradition by making a tradition modern through the technologies. Among his concepts, uh, he said, I always try to get all my answers by returning to a piece of cloth, the most fundamental form of the clothing. His design philosophies respected the most fundamental forms. The wrinkles in the life of the Sangyangsu are more and more intense to me. The fun of frame. The pleasure of our own window or frame creates many different perspectives to see natures. Let's put the mountain temples in the frame of the moment. You can relax while looking at the sansa, the temple scenery, enjoying a happy relaxation in a frame of ink and a tint light and soft light. It is fascinating. You can spend the day watching only you, loves the sun. It displays relaxation all day. At the moment, you may be captivated by the smiles in the various frames, the smiles in the round, the slightly, angular frame, are truly peaceful scenery. When we thought, someone's called me and, look at me, look at us, spider with the innocent charm on a back, filled with empty hurt. It connects to very, precious moments. Yellow stained corners, cornelian, cherries. It's very mean, love that never changes. Its creative flower does not change without fail this year. In fact, cornflowers not very pretty when you put them apart, one by one. There are so many pretty and colorful flowers, so compared to them, it can be considered, extremely ordinary. However, when these flowers are gathered in thousands, not dozens or hundreds, the story changes. Story totally different feeling. Is dyed yellow to receive the golden, and the glows golden, and the light is shattered, giving off a golden color. Particularly, when an old tree crosses the fence that tries to cover the roof, the yellow cornelian flowers bloom next to it. Nature's heart, small on a hermitage, begins to open between the slanted green darkness. The passing through the good bamboo tunnel. There are many bamboos. Looks like a tunnels, right? Juniper tree hangs behind its dignity. Nature now seems to tell people's heart as well, and it suddenly becomes desperate. In Songgwangsa, there's another small temple, branch temple, Am. There's a magnolia tree, was called Uhwagak tree. In Korea, we call this Uhwagak. The tree is very famous under the stories. One of the famous monk, Bobjung Snim, he lived and loved the most in his lifetime. He said, you have to peel off the old skin and regrow. His very famous psychological word, Buddhism is the birthplace of no possessions. No possessions is the law that symbolizes Bobjung Snim, Bobjung monk. No possession is not having nothing, but not having unnecessary things. When you look at the old bark, you can think that, we are one with the nature that must be. There's a wooden chair, small wooden chairs there in front of the tree, porches, right? It is a chair made by the Buddhist monk Bobjong from firewood. As the monk said, when we looked closely, the red oak tree, which stood by the courtyard and stayed with the monk forever, took off the last leaf and left on an empty area. It became reverent for a while. In the summer, the big and soft leaves of the white oak tree burst, and in the winter, all the leaves are removed, and the exposed branches boast the beauty of the uncluttered flowers. Just like taking off all the bark, the juniper does not try to show its bark in the hut. It will take off the wood. As you know, nature always shows love in a small voice, no matter who you are with. The naturalist idea of the dogsmith, who designed a mobile phone holder using the simple beauty of the real tree, the natural form pursued by Doria Oxoy, is no longer a naturalistic expression tells us we cannot live apart from. See the sketches, roof tile lines flowing like waves. As the lines of the tile improve, as if they were simple and laid back, the fine lines of the tile are so precious, so good, and we can imagine the story of people who would have lived there. The modern people living in the cutting ages always means the long for nature, because nature always gives us warm sensibility and beauty. So we always yearn for nature. It is the idea to awaken green sensibility to the heart of the people always around, but have become numb to consciousness. However, it is not easy to feel the sensibility of nature in the midst of the busy life. But life becomes more and more convenient. It seems a little difficult to feel the beauty of the nature. In recent years, various designs allow us to feel nature in our daily life have been introduced. In addition, various design ideas imitate nature being tried. Through this, the modern people seem to fall into green sensibility, full of nature and romance in a busy daily life. Okay, appreciate having you for this wonderful Songgwangsa Temple together. Thank you.